Happy Tuesday! It is April 21st, and I am back from the same spot. Mrs. Berry bought a couch finally, woo, after I moved. And so I'm going to have a couch tomorrow or Wednesday. It depends when it gets here. And then you'll see my videos from a couch. I'm so excited. It's about time. Woo. Button wants to say hi. Oh, he's gone. Scared. Camera shy. Okay, some of you are not watching my videos. How I'm gonna know that you're not watching my videos is that I am gonna keep planting secret things in here and answers to the questions. So my first thing that I'm gonna plant in here is that my middle name is Christina. Okay, my middle name is Christina. That's gonna be an answer on your quiz. So get ready. I'm gonna read out loud of the other side, and I'm going to think out loud as I read. Some of us just either aren't reading all the way, or we're not rereading again, or we're not thinking as we're reading, we're just reading and not understanding what's happening in the story. Shout out to the Hundreds Club. I know it was Eimer and Ari and Jaslyn and Alex. People that are really, really, and Tyra, people that are really taking their time when they're taking the quiz. Some of us aren't even watching the video. I don't know. So hopefully we can figure that out, okay? I'm going to start reading right now. The Other Side by Jacqueline Woodson. That summer, the fence that stretched through our town seemed bigger. We usually don't have big fences stretching through a town. We lived in a yellow house on one side of it. White people lived on the other. What does that tell us about Clover? Clover's the one telling the story, so think about that. So I wonder what time this might be. If white people and black people are separated, white people and black people are separated in the town what separates them in the town is a fence. Is this before the civil rights movement? Is this before segregation was ended? And Mama said, "Don't climb over that fence when you play." She said it wasn't safe. That summer, there was a girl who wore a pink sweater. Okay, so right now, I'm Clover telling the story. Each morning, she climbed up on the fence and stared over at our side. Sometimes I stared back. She never sat on that fence with anybody. That girl didn't. That girl didn't. Once we were jumping rope. She asked if I could play. And my friend Sandra said no without even asking the rest of us. I don't know what I would have said. Maybe yes, maybe no. That summer, everyone and everything on the other side of that fence seemed far away. I wonder what Clover means by that. When I asked my mama why, she said, because that's the way things have always been done. We know that's how the world was at one point, right? We know that black and white people were separated. Sometimes when me and Mama went into town, I saw that girl with her mama. She looked sad sometimes, that girl did. Don't stare, my mama said. It's not polite. It rained a lot that summer. On rainy days, that girl sat on the fence in a raincoat. She let herself get all wet and acted like she didn't even care. Sometimes I saw her dancing around in puddles, splashing and laughing. Mama wouldn't let me go out in the rain. That's why I bought you rainy day toys, my mama said. You stay inside here where it's warm and safe and dry. But every time it rained, I looked for that girl, and I always found her, somewhere near the fence. Some place in the middle of the summer, the rain stopped. When I walked outside, the grass was damp, and the sun was already high up in the sky. I stood there with my hands in the air. I felt brave that day. I felt free. I got close to the fence, and the girl asked my name. Clover, I said. My name's Annie, she said. Annie Paul. I live over yonder. She said, by where you see the laundry. That's my blouse hanging on the line. She smiled then. She had a pretty smile. Now, a lot of us got this one wrong. I live over yonder. I live over yonder means I live over there. So it's just a different way of saying it. And the way we can tell that it's not super, super far away, it's because she can still see it. By where you see the laundry, that's my blouse hanging on the line. It's not that far away that it's out of sight, but it's a different way of saying it. Sometimes people speak that way. It's a part of, it's just like, it's lingo, right? It's a word that people say like, oh, I just live right over there. I live over yonder. Okay. And the evidence that we're picking is because it says, by where you see the laundry. That's my box hanging on the line. Those are our context clues to understand what yonder means. Because you can still see her laundry. It's literally, it's not that far. Okay? She smiled then. She had a pretty smile. And then I smiled, and we stood there looking at each other, smiling. It's nice up on this fence, Annie said. You can see all over. I ran my hand along the fence. I reached up and touched the top of it. A fence like this is made for sitting on, Annie said. She looked at me sideways. My mama says I shouldn't go on the other side, I said. My mama says the same thing, but she never said nothing about sitting on it. Neither did mine, I said. Okay, so they have something in common right now. Both of their parents, both of their mothers, have given them specific directions. We know, based on what we found out about people on the other side of the fence, that Annie is a white girl in this story. We know that Clover is a black girl in this story. What do the parents have in common? That summer, me and Annie sat together on that fence, and when Sandra and them looked at me funny, I just made believe I didn't care. Some mornings, my mama watched us. I waited for her to tell me to get down from that fence before I break my neck or something, but she never did. I see you made a new friend, she said one morning, and I nodded, and my mama smiled. That summer, me and Annie sat on the fence and watched the whole wide world around us. Wow. One day, Sandra and I were jumping rope near the fence, and we asked if we could play. I don't care, Sandra said. And when we jumped, Sandra and me were partners. That the way we used to be. Oh, what just happened? When we were too tired to jump anymore, we sat up on the fence, all of us, in a long time. Someday, somebody's going to come along and knock this old fence down, Annie said. And I nodded. Yeah, I said, someday. Now, I want you to think about what that means. Someday somebody's going to come along and knock this old fence down, Annie said. And I nodded. Yeah, I said, someday. What does the fence symbolize? Think about the kind of time the world is in right now. There's a fence that separates two races in the town. That's not something that we have now, right? People can go and come as they please. But this fence is separating this town, and they're not supposed to cross it. They still became friends, though. What are they saying when they say, I hope somebody's going to come along and knock this old fence down? What do they really want to happen? I want you to think about it. That is the end of that story. I only have 2 more minutes on this video, and I'm going to talk about a few different things. So we know the important characters. We know that they were Annie, Clover, and Mama. The setting, I was surprised by some of us that missed this. We learned the story's setting. A large fence stretches through town and separates the black residents from the white residents. The residents are people of a community. So the black people and the white people are separated. So the setting in the story, we don't really get to know about their homes or get to know about what the town looks like. We just know that this fence is very important to this story. What do we learn about the main character? The main character is Clover. She's telling the story. She wants to be friends with Annie. She wants to be friends with Annie, but they live in a segregated town. Under segregation in the United States, whole towns, including their schools, theaters, restaurants, restrooms, and water fountains, were separated by race. We've learned this last year with the Civil Rights Movement unit. We also have talked about it when we went to the DuSable Museum. We'll need to keep this in mind to fully understand the conflict and plot of this story. All right. So, my last secret question. My oldest sister, not my oldest because that would be confusing. Yeah, well, I would say it. My oldest sister's name is Christina. So my middle name is Christina. My middle name was named after my oldest sister, Christina. And then my second oldest is Tracy, and then my third oldest is Natalie, And then my fourth oldest is Lisa. Oof. So I have 4 older sisters. Good luck.